Guys, crazy things continues to happen. I need to talk you through what has been going on yesterday, what we need to know in order to understand what the markets are going to do next. I will also talk about the imminent big move that is about to happen for Bitcoin and crypto in general, guys. Make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So let's get straight into it, guys. So what we can see is that yesterday we did see some volatility, but we are now 1 day closer to having the big move actually happening. So just like I said in yesterday's video, this is probably going to take maybe 1 week, but we are going to have to make a decision whether we are going to break down from 81,600 towards the downside, or whether we are going to break the yellow dotted line and have a move towards the upside. So this is going to be very important to keep track of. I will continue to update you on that. Now, moving over to altcoins, it is much more interesting for altcoins because they are continuing to bleed down, and even altcoins that have historically during the last weeks and months been doing still pretty well, even though the entire crypto market has been going down. Some particular altcoins have been doing well, but even they are starting to budge now. So first, for Ethereum, which is obviously one of the coins that has been doing absolutely terrible, it has continued its downtrend here, and you can see that we're trying to stay above the $1,805 level. So this is a key level. You can see we've been supported 1, 2, 3, 4 times on this candle right here. So the bulls did manage to push us above this point again. But let us see, guys, for Ethereum. The thing with Ethereum is that it's been beaten down so freaking hard. So, I mean, this has to be running out of sellers soon. And I think that once the bullish momentum comes back to crypto, which I think is only a matter of time, then Ethereum is probably going to be one of the biggest gainers. So I'm not closing any of my Ethereum trades. Same for Solana. Solana has been beaten down pretty badly. And even now, we are taking down the previous lows. So we're taking out this previous low at $118. You can see we were supported a couple of times of this orange line, resistance. And now the next level of resistance, for support for Cardano, is this big psychological round number at $100. So that is also something we must be prepared for, but this, I believe, is going to be big support should we come down to this point. Moving on, Dogecoin has just been going sideways, nothing really to talk about here. Sideways for about a month already. But the interesting thing is for Cardano and XRP, because they have really not been doing too bad. So they've been going sideways. Now, the last few days, they have been trending down. Cardano hitting my support level at 60 cents, having a bounce from this level as expected, since this is big support and we have my orange line here for a reason. But this bounce is not very strong. And let us see, guys, because Cardano and XRP has been holding up pretty well in the middle of the rest of the altcoin market actually having a free fall. So if we lose these key support levels at 60, 61 cents, then the next one for Cardano, 54, and then really 40 cents. So let us keep our eyes on this, but even these altcoins are starting to bleed down. Same for XRP here. XRP hitting my support level at $1.95. We've hit it multiple times, and every time we have seen that, we have seen a big bounce towards the upside. So first, look at this. When we tapped it right here, had a big bounce. When we tapped it here, big bounce, and this is not really that big. So the confidence, even for these altcoins that historically during this downtrend has been doing good, they are starting to also erode and they are starting to bleed down. So this is something we will have to keep our eyes on. But this is also exhaustion, because the longer we go with sideways action, the more people are going to lose faith and they're going to start to slowly sell until we run out of sellers and the bullish momentum comes back up, and then we are going to have big pumps towards the upside because most sellers have already sold. They don't have that much left to sell, and then we can only go towards the upside, right? So I still believe that we are going to have some nice pumps, but sideways action in the middle of the chaos that is happening right now with the tariffs. And I will talk about this more here in a little bit because we have big updates. But we just have to understand that we are at the mercy of what the market is going to react. Actually, we are at the mercy of whatever Donald Trump is going to communicate and do here. Because most people did not believe that Donald Trump would be this hard with the tariffs and that he would actually go this aggressively and that he will stick to it, and that even like some of the statements that I am going to go through here in a bit actually caused the traditional markets to go down even further. You can see massive red candle towards the downside here, and 5,331 is the next level of support. So traditional markets have so far gone down about 13%, which in traditional market sense, for crypto it's nothing, we see this in one day, but for traditional markets this is a lot. So this is causing a lot of panic in the market, but we need to understand that Donald Trump could decide to push this down even lower. We have to be prepared for that, and we have to have a plan and a strategy for it. For me, I am still sticking to my trades. I believe that this is going to, even though it takes maybe 3 months, maybe half a year, maybe 1 year, as I've said, guys, I believe the peak is going to be, for this cycle, is going to be in 2026. And people were laughing at me. They said that, no, we are seeing the peak in 2025, like mid and early 2025. And obviously we have just been going down. So those people have obviously been wrong. But I believe sideways action, we just need to weather the storm. We need to have patience. And that's why I'm not selling any of my trades here. Now, for my trades, I do have a few long strategies, which you know with a big size. And they are currently down $865,000 on these current bots. But I also have a couple of short bots. So for Doge, I have this one right here. I have a couple of short bots for Solana. I have this one. I have Ethereum short bot. I have Bitcoin short bot as well. So I'm essentially making money both when we go up and when we go down, but I have a bullish bias, right? I believe in the end, we are going to go towards the upside. But in the meantime, my short bots and my long bots for that matter are going to use this volatility to make more profit. So the more time that goes by, I'm slowly stacking more and more USDT here using these trading strategies. So that is completely fine by me. And as you know, guys, if you want to see my entire allocation, like how much am I short and how much am I long, you always have the link in the description here. So you can click on, I think this one right here. It's the same document, and you just go to the tab which is called Auto Stacker. And here I need to update these ones, but it is more or less the same here. But you can see that I am 80% long for Bitcoin, 20% short, about 80 for all of these major altcoins. And for Cardano and XRP, I am still 100% long. But I am, now that we are about to potentially break down from these key levels, I will consider adding a couple of short strategies here as well. But overall, I'm still 80% long and 20% short. So that is completely fine. But I will update this here in the next few days. And if you want to use my trading strategies yourself, make sure to watch the trading tutorials at the top of the description and then sign up to Pionex using these links right here, claim the deposit bonuses. And then if you want to go long, you have these links right here for the major altcoins and Bitcoin. If you want to go short, you have these links here for Bitcoin and altcoins. If you want to use it for any other altcoin, click on this link. It is going to take you here, and here you can use it for whichever altcoin you want. Now, let us continue. So, the government responses to the US tariffs across the world. Right now, you are seeing the European Union say retaliatory measures are being prepared. China urges the US to immediately cancel these tariffs or they will take countermeasures. Germany calls on EU to pressure Donald Trump. Japan says tariffs are regrettable and seeks exemption. Canada preparing countermeasures to existing tariffs. Mexico plans a broader response. South Korea begins emergency support for impacted industries. UK attempting to reach a trade deal with the US, keeping options open. Brazil considering going to WTO, evaluating potential responses. So the tariffs will actually begin today, and we will see how these countries are going to actually retaliate. And we will also see, and this is the most important thing, how the markets are going to react to whatever is going to happen. Because we know that if any country retaliates, Donald Trump and the US has said that they are going to then increase the tariffs on these countries. So this is, I mean, this can spiral completely out of control. You could have a situation where there is going to be no trade happening between the US and the rest of the world. I mean, if they raise tariffs, they continue to raise tariffs, as they have said here, that is within the realm of possibility, right? So this is pretty crazy, but this is something we just have to keep watching. Now, if you look at some of the other comments here, the White House internal talking points tell people that the regime should not be characterized as a starting point for negotiations. So this has also been speculated, like Donald Trump is putting these tariffs in place because he wants to negotiate with the rest of the world and get deals in place. And I ultimately think that this is actually the case, but the White House are saying that it is actually not. But of course, this is what they have to say. Now, if we continue, Lutnick says that there is no chance that Trump will back off tariffs. Now, Trump himself has said that it is what expected. The patient was very sick in regards to the markets and the United States. The economy had a lot of problems. It was a sick patient. It went through an operation. The operation is over, and now we will let it settle in. Also, what he said, I saw some more quotes regarding this. He said that the patient will be much stronger after this operation than what he was before. So this is also what Donald Trump has been saying. Market is going to boom. President Trump speaks to reporters. Trump on the market reaction. It is going very well. And I mean, the market has been going down significantly, but he says it is going very well. So let's hope it doesn't go bad. Now, later on today, you're going to have some more data coming out, and you will have, and this could be the most important thing, Jerome Powell is going to have a speech later on today. And then you will also have jobs data coming out. Now, this is going to lead into volatility, but yeah, this is just one of the points that is going to lead into volatility. The more important thing is, of course, going to be Donald Trump and what he decides to say. If he says something that the market is going to react bullishly on, then of course we pump. But until then, just be prepared for volatility, be prepared for some potential more downside action. But once we turn around, and this is the reason why I don't close my trades, once we turn around, things are going to go up pretty quickly, in my opinion, and we will quickly be at some massive profits, in my opinion. I will keep you updated on that. One thing I want to end this video with as well is a on-chain death cross, so to speak, happening. So this is the 30-day volume-weighted price crossing the 100-day. So you can see the the red line crossing the green line and the Bitcoin price in green. Now, when this happened in 2021, we saw the cross right here. We started to go down for 3 months. Yes, you saw the same cross right here. We went down for 13 months. You saw the cross here. We went down for 2 months. Right here, you saw it as well. We went down for 3 months. And now well, not now, actually, this probably happened in like February. We did have this cross as well. And we have been going down since then. Now, the key thing to note here is that we have already been going down and sideways for a few months. So this cross took place right here. So let's say this takes place during, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. So then that means, because this was 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. Yes, this was a longer one with 13. But yeah, we already had most of this play out, in my opinion. So I wouldn't trade based on this right now because it happened a while ago already. Guys, this is what I got for you. I hope that you're going to enjoy your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.